Hey everyone, get this out of the way. 26 years ago, two Irish people had sex, so now I have eczema. This dog shit skin. I scratch my arms and look like somebody opened up the bag from a vacuum. It's all dusty. Pretty much my body looks like a scratch ticket I'm just not giving up on yet. And again, I gotta figure it out. Crack that. I need a haircut. I'm excited because when I need a haircut, I'm gonna go to the salon. I prefer the salon because then that way I get to wear a cape and a woman will touch me. It's cool though, you can... The situation, you can talk to them there, they can't run away. The trick is though, if you're gonna ask them out, you do it after you've gotten the haircut, so that way when they finally say, no, I'm not gonna go out with you, you can be like, why not? Is it because of this fucking haircut? Throw the ball back in their court, it always works. That's tough talking women. My father always gets bad haircuts too. He always looks like he walked into the salon and just used the C word a bunch of times. Gets terrible haircuts. Well, that's the problem. I mean, you can't talk about things that you want to talk about when you're thinking about them. Like, I can't talk to women about the space program at bars. That's all I'm ever thinking about. Like, in the 60s, it was going great. Put a man on the moon. But present day, what? We're naming space shuttles things like Discovery and Challenger. Is that a space shuttle or is that a class for kids that can't read? Oh, those all blew up? You kidding me? Every single one of them. That's when I was driving around Boston and I keep running across, it's a place, it's like Sylvan Learning Center. It's called Kumon. K-U-M-O-N. I'm assuming that's Kumon as in, come on kid, just read it! Words are on the page, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not making this up, their logo's a sad face. So if you're a terrible parent, you can just drop your kid off like, I know you can't read the sign, but this one, it looks like how you feel when you're trying to read. These poor goddamn kids. Kids, I would never want to try to like learn how to read again. Kids books, terrible. So many lies and empty promises, like Dr. Seuss, all the places you'll go. Yeah, not that far, doctor. Didn't really get out of town. I'm still here. I wish I had more practical books when I was a kid. You know, things that kind of related more to me. Like if I was a kid again, I wish I had a book that was called The Boy Who Thought Every Fart He Had Was a Shit. Or maybe just one real simple, sleeping's not the same as dying. I had a lot of anxiety tied up in that as a kid. Or just one, this would have been my favorite, worms. They can live in your butt too. And that's why your butt's so itchy, kid. Kids' books. Learning stuff. I'm not learning anything anymore. I'm flattered that car commercials think I know what 0% APR financing means. I don't know anything about cars. The one thing I've noticed, you ever notice people actually like look like their cars, like they physically resemble the cars they drive sometimes? Like especially if they've been in a horrible car accident? That's one thing I picked up on. Are we doing alright, Allston? Oh yeah. I'll tell you, your tattoos don't intimidate me that much. It's because every guy that I've met that has tattoos, oh, they're such sweethearts. Every single one of them, like they'll come up to me like, oh, look at this, it's a heart, it's got my son's name in it, because I love my son. And also he died of like a heart complication. Like, man, he committed to that tattoo. I could never do that. Like if I had a tattoo, I know like 5 years later, I'd just like catch it like at a glance and be like, oh, counting crows. Fucking hate the counting crows. That poor guy's gonna look down and be like, oh, I'm so over this dead kid. Why did I think I want to remember the worst thing that ever happened in my life? Jesus. And talking about dead kids, I should probably just talk about my childhood now. When I was a kid, my parents thought it'd be a good idea to get me involved in Little League, so I would learn the importance of teamwork. But I really stunk, so I didn't learn the importance of teamwork so much as I learned that, like, everybody else on my team would have been better off if I never existed. And that was in kindergarten, and I played softball, or like Little League, until I was in the 6th grade. It's a lot of time where people kept getting better, I just kept getting more and more depressed. To the point where eventually, like the 6th grade, everybody else was wearing like the fancy like baseball pants. They had their like baseball gloves sticking out their back pocket. Their shirts tucked in. They looked very professional. I was in the outfield wearing black sweatpants. Just like, that's exactly what I need. Like my parents, it wasn't that they wouldn't put up money for them. It's like, no. A pair of pants isn't going to turn this franchise around. This is what I'm about now. I want the pair of black sweatpants I've had since the 3rd grade because I haven't grown anymore. I'm going to stick with those. But everything turned around because eventually we had a new kid on the team. And nobody had ever seen him before. And he had like a 1,000-mile stare. It seemed like he had been through some shit. But it turned out he was just homeschooled. Like, he always had that laser focus like he was going into like a spelling bee championship. And he was better than me at baseball too, but here's what happened. The second practice, he missed a fly ball and had a giant meltdown. Which was like the best thing that ever happened to me in the league. Like he started hitting himself, and then like a parent had to go and sit on top of him, and he went home and we never saw him again. And everybody learned a lesson that day, which was mostly just don't ever homeschool your kids. But I also learned, like I was still suicidal at that point, so I learned that it was mostly, hey, yeah, I want to kill myself, but I'm not doing it before that fucking kid does it. Him first. August Alba, the weird homeschooled kid, goes first. He was named August because his parents had no concept of what summer was. Poor homeschooled bastard, Jesus. I read obituaries. Which it comes off morbid, but really, it's so much easier than the actual news. Because instead of like 5,000 people dead in Medford, it's just 5 people dead in, fuck it up. Instead of 5,000 people dead in Syria, it's just 5 people dead in Medford. No, 5,000 people have never died in Medford before. Nothing bad has ever happened that way. But I was reading this one obituary, it said this guy, he lost his battle to depression. Which I had never heard that said before, or written down. But it left so many unanswered questions. Like, what was that battle? Was it a knife fight? Was it a gun fight? It's probably just a quick tug-of-war match with the ceiling. If you know anything about young men, that's like, he might have been just having a good time. Thanks, all right, I'm Zack Norton, have a good night.